It's BBC Radio Berkshire, and we know that sportsmen and women have relatively short careers, but you don't expect people who play on computer games to be forced into retirement before they reach 30. Sadly, that's just happened to world-class gamer Thomas Zuma Paparato. A 25-year-old is stepping down due to a hand injury. So is this an occupational hazard? Well, earlier I spoke to fellow BBC presenter and host of the Naked Gaming podcast, Chris Berrow.
Imagine playing computer games with a controller for 8 hours a day. So it's not just like sitting at a desk, you can have a little screen break. These elite athletes, and they really are elite athletes, have been training on a computer, sitting there on a video game console for 8 hours a day. Now, imagine the strain on your thumbs particularly, because this Zuma, you did say it right actually, this Thomas Zuma Paparato, he's a controller player, and he plays one of the biggest games of all time, Call of Duty, which is a first-person shooter. And how that works is you're in a team of people, let's say, 6 people in some competitions. You're going head-to-head with other teams, and you need to have the reactions of a cat. You need to be able to move out the way, dodge, run, snipe people from a distance. It's all about having extremely quick reactions. Now, he's a very elite player. He's been training for 8 years, which is actually quite a long time. And this thumb injury is exactly as you might expect. It's a repetitive strain injury that he's had for many years, actually. He's even had surgery on his thumb in order to actually get himself back to the top level of competition. So I think he struggled back and came back to kind of approaching the top of his game. But this problem just simply hasn't gone away. So sadly today, as you say, 25 years old, he's retiring from professional gaming.
That's incredible, isn't it? And 8 years, is that sort of level, is that a long career in gaming?
Well, it's interesting that you said he's retired at the age of 25. Actually, a long career for a professional elite gamer is 3, 4 or 5 years at the absolute maximum. So he would have been playing at the very top level for probably 4 or 5 years, but just becoming interested in gaming professionally for the years before that. So actually, it is quite a long career for a professional gamer. What they tend to do once they retire from the competitive scene is to go into things like commentary on games, much like professional footballers. And I suppose the best analogy, I was trying to think of the best way to explain this. You'll probably remember when Wayne Rooney injured his metatarsal.
Yes.
And the country was, learning about this tiny little bone in your foot and how can it make such a big difference. But that was causing Wayne Rooney so much pain. Imagine that, but just in your thumb, and that is the thing that you're using to earn your money on a controller. So it is really exactly parallel to that.
And you mentioned money there, so lots of money to be made?
Lots of money to be made, and actually, interestingly, it's not really competitions that make you the money. Yes, the prize money can be in the hundreds of thousands of pounds, but it's actually the sponsorship that you get from streaming your games every single day. Zuma plays for a team called the New York Subliners, so he's based in New York, he's got Italian heritage. He'll make perhaps £20,000-30,000 on a good year from prize money, but the sponsorship deals, people will sponsor his chair that he sits on. They'll sponsor the headset that he's wearing. They'll pay him to eat certain types of crisps on his channel. It really is that kind of thing. And you can be making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds from the sponsorship. So that's the huge thing. It would be interesting if he can maintain that level of sponsorship now that he's not in the competitive scene as much. But on the other hand, everybody's talking about this today, so we've all heard of Zuma now.
Yes, we certainly have. Because I was about to say, just as a final question, who's watching it? Obviously, an awful lot of people.
Yeah, you would be surprised, and I was surprised. It's millions and millions and millions of people around the world. He's in New York, as I say, he plays for this team, the New York Subliners. So you've got all of America, you've got countries like Korea, which is huge into watching esports. In the UK, in all sorts of games, Call of Duty, you could easily expect hundreds and hundreds of thousands of viewers. That's why there's such big money, and that's why this is something that really matters to gamers, because it's one of the first big retirements that we've heard of from an actual gaming injury.
So Chris Berrow there, BBC presenter and host of the Naked Gaming podcast. And yes, already at the age of 25, Thomas Zuma Paparato has had to retire. sore thumbs, or a sore thumb anyway. I think it's a bit more than just a sore thumb. Now, it's time to catch up with Berkshire's weather, and in charge of that is Fumsy.